What's up, guys? Mark here, and this is episode 8 of Unboxing the 1976 Christopher Rhodes Time Capsule. Today, we're going to take a look at the items put together by Mike Shea for his project on colonial doctors. Then we'll get to hear Mike make his presentation. Stick around and we'll get started in just a minute. Welcome to episode 8. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, just click that watermark in the corner or the red button below the video. When you do, just remember to click the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever I post a new video and it won't just get lost in your feed. I really appreciate all of you for continuing to watch, and I extra appreciate my subscribers, so why not become one too? If you're new to the series, just click the Who's He What's It up in the corner for the playlist of prior episodes. Once you've seen them all, you can look forward to another new episode every Wednesday through April 1st. Just make sure you're subscribed to keep following along. Speaking of which, you can also follow me on social media at MarkBurm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Jumping right back into the student projects this week, today we're going to unwrap the items from Mike Shea's project on colonial doctors. As usual, most of this portion of the video will be in time-lapse, though I may slow it down if there's anything particularly interesting or important to say. Once everything's been opened, we'll show plenty of pictures during the closing while we listen to Mike make his presentation. All right, let's get at it. As always, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Please give it a thumbs up. Consider supporting the work that I do here on the channel by subscribing. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and maybe even share a link to your favorite episode on social media. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at MarkBurn, and we'll see you next time.
My name is Mike Shea, and the colonial craftsman I'm going to talk about are the doctors. When people came to America in the early days of the colony, they had to be strong and healthy and adventurous. Even though they were healthy, many people suffered from shipboard diseases and illnesses such as scurvy. There weren't many doctors here, and these doctors that were here did not follow good scientific medical ways. For example, the cure for a disease thought to be caused by too much fluid in the body was to cut the patient and make him bleed to get rid of the fluid. This, of course, only made the patient sicker. Many times, doctors would give the patient a food that looks like a part of his body that hurt. If he has a headache, he would get the inside of a walnut because it looks like his brain. If he has a sore kidney, he would get a kidney bean. These natural cures really healed, but were based on a medical idea over 1,000 years old. At other times, the patient might be given a violent rub-down, a scalding hot or an icy cold bath, or a hot bandage which used to blister the skin. In fact, in the early colonial times, the doctors' remedies were often so painful or so drastic that they were almost worse than the illnesses themselves. Not much was known about the human body or its ailments and their causes and cures. Most of the medicines were made from herbs and roots of plants. As time went on, the English began to borrow many ideas from the native Indians. Many of the first doctors to arrive in America were more interested in land, treasure, politics, and power. They often refused to care for a patient unless the patient has money to pay. Laws were passed to stop this practice. Many of the settlers who lived away from the town and villages used a book called the Herbal, which told about how to use herbs, spices, leaves, and roots to help cure their family's sicknesses. Most of the early doctors were both clergymen and physicians. They often combined prayers and medicine, but still too many people were dying. Doctors began to take on apprentices, just like the other craftsmen in the colonies. There were still, however, many people who said they were doctors, but really knew very little about it. More and more colonists were being sent to Europe to learn the right way. No matter how hard the doctors worked, they couldn't stop many people from dying because the diseases spread, causing this what is called epidemics. Laws were passed to try to stop the spread of contagious diseases by putting people in homes by themselves. This was called quarantine. The first person to use inoculations or shots to help prevent diseases were Cotton Mather and Zebriel Boylston. They used a needle to help prevent smallpox. As years passed, other people began to use inoculations. Gradually, hospitals were built and medical societies were formed. Some American colleges had degrees in medicine. When the Declaration of Independence was signed, 4 doctors were among the signees. During the Revolution, a military medical department was formed. The first Surgeon General was 33 years old, Dr. Benjamin Rush of Philadelphia. The conditions on the battlefields and in the hospitals during the war were terrible. There were few supplies and much filth. In spite of these horrible conditions, the doctors learned a great deal. After the war, Dr. Rush became one of the greatest American teaching doctors of all times. He was always willing to listen to and encourage new and different medical experiments. Many of his former students tried to follow in the footsteps of this great American doctor. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Thank you. Please stop the tape and rewind it. Thank you.